Theresa here from wingsoflighthealingarts.com, here with your most recent energy update. So, first and foremost, they want me to mention to you that there are some changes coming to this channel. So be sure to look out for this video and watch for that as that comes up. I want to apologize to you guys because I wanted to get this out to you much earlier than I was able to do so because there's a lot of relationship changes that are happening this month. And I wish I could have gotten this to you sooner, and I hope it's not, well, they're saying it's not too late, but I hope that I didn't let you guys down by providing this a little bit later than I would have liked, which is about 2 weeks late. It's hard to believe that it's St. Patrick's Day already. It's crazy, right? So, yeah, so watch for the changes that are happening for this channel, and because I think there's some interesting new content in there I think you guys are going to be interested in. Also, if you've got any questions about that video, you can reach out to me. So first and foremost, one of the biggest things that is going on right now is that Venus is in retrograde. It's been retrograde since the 4th of March. It's going to remain that way until the 15th of April. So what does that mean? First and foremost, the more important thing is to make sure that you are taking the time to set your intentions for this time. That's the most positive thing that I could possibly mention, because it only happens typically about once every 1.5 to 2 years. The very last time we saw it was it ended in August of 2015. It was late June through August of 2015, and that's when it was a very turbulent time. It was ironically right before a bunch of twins met, and it was when my twin and I basically ended things because of what happens during a retrograde period in Venus is that everything that you haven't looked at is coming up to be revisited in terms of relationships. And it's not just physical love relationships, or it's not, what I mean is not just romantic relationships. This is also relationships with your family members, with your coworkers, anything that's happened in since August of 2015, since the last retrograde, is being reviewed right now. And for some people, that's quite a lot. If somebody has dated a few people in that time, everything since then is going to be coming up to be reviewed. Some of you may have felt this also in February coming up. So this is a time when relationships get revisited. This is a time when breakups happen, particularly ones, and you would know because if it's been coming for a while, this is when it'll come to a head. This is also a time when old lovers come back. When people that have disappeared or been gone for a while, they decide to come back and re-enter your life or attempt to. So it's up to you whether or not you allow that, okay? A lot of these old patterns are coming up to be looked at. It can cause a lot of turmoil. It can feel a bit, the masculine's feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now. The feminine and the masculine are both taking a look at their give and their take and balancing that, how much it is that they're willing to give, how much energy they have in their reserves. So it's basically, this is a period of time about faith and trust. And I could tell you it's testing mine as well. And so, I mean, this is a big one. It's also the Ides of March, which for me, all kinds of shifts happen, but it's okay because that means it's bringing in a bunch of things that I actually really, really want. So February brought up a lot of areas where we felt stuck. And March is providing movement in those areas. Specifically right now, it's happening a lot in relationships. Relationship to yourself, to the divine, to people outside of you, for all of that, to your children, to your parents. There's a lot of parental healing happening right now. The masculine with their feminine, and also with their feminine counterparts. They are facing a lot of their father type of stuff has been coming up a lot since November, but right now it's really been coming to a head. So I think some of you are going to see some big shifts there. And I just want to remind you, even though it may seem chaotic or full of turmoil, just breathe. If you can do nothing else, just try and breathe through it. Something that people are mentioning is that those on the 30 days of healing are seeing some of these shifts, but they feel more supported and less panicky than if they weren't receiving the everyday of healing. So to those of you that are providing that feedback, I'm very, very happy to hear that, okay? The masculine right now is expanding their spiritual gifts, and some are stepping into stepping into a more spiritually based career or into their dream job. And some of them, and the feminine, I feel like a lot of you have already stepped into that a little bit and maybe are like a year ahead of them. But essentially, these guys need a little bit more support. So there's relationship stuff coming up. They have a ton of overwhelm and inner conflict, a lot of shifts happening all at one time. And I know I can hear some of you saying, but the feminine are too. I'm just trying to help you understand a perspective that they're dealing with so that you understand both sides and look at it from a balanced point of view, okay? The emotions are a lot, your emotions are a lot, their emotions are a lot. But I'll tell you this, with the emotions comes spiritual awakening, and a lot of them need guidance for that. I've been working for about since November really, I've been working. So I guess for about 4 or 5 months now, I've been working with quite a few of the masculine twin flames and helping them through this process. I will tell you, because most of you are my feminine followers, that the masculine are afraid of being they're afraid of being manipulated, and they're afraid of being seen as less than, because they are just as gifted as you, but they're just now finding some of the vocabulary. So just give them some space if you can, if that's something that you can do. It's just like they just come back to you so much faster when you're able to do that. It's not always easy. It's not something I'm always able to do with ease, but then I remember, how would I feel? And I say, okay, I would definitely appreciate space when I need it, because the sooner I'm given it, the sooner I can shift and move, into something else. I want to acknowledge that for many of you, your intuition is really accelerated. It's been really, really great to watch a lot of you shift from a very resistant type of energy into a place of acceptance. And some of you are becoming, for lack of a better word, softer and more kind to yourselves. And when that happens, that means a lot of the fears underlying have shifted. And I just want to say congratulations to those of you that are feeling that and feeling like, your legs are less wobbly on this. Part of this is because Quan Yin is working pretty much full time with a lot of the feminine counterparts right now. And if you want to embody some of that, wear some of the mint green or even just light green, wear jade. You can have those colors of bedding or towels just to be able to work with her. And you can call on her and say, she embodies ultimate compassion for the self first, and then also for others. So for those of you relating to that sort of thing, you can call on her for her help, okay? But again, I want to acknowledge that your intuition is really, really expanded, and you've upped your game tremendously in receiving support from others. So way to go. Some of you have started asking for support and are receiving it and starting to notice, wow, I have more what I'm looking for. I'm not as powerless as I was before. I feel more empowered now, and I have a good group of people that are there when I need them. So part of that is because you've been brave enough to ask for it, you intended for it, and you allowed yourself to receive it without judgment. So some of you, I feel like, are still struggling with that a little bit, but this comes with asking for what it is that you need. And you started doing that from other partners that you felt safe with, like other healing friends or people in the community, and a hawk just flew over the house. So I love that. He's representative of Mikael. So yes, so there was one more thing that they were going to mention, but yeah, when you get used to asking for your friends and family or whoever your close-knit people are, then you get comfortable asking for what you need from your partner, and your partner's asking the same from you. And as long as there's a safe dialogue for doing that, things become a lot easier. A big theme is community right now for many, looking for more connection, deeper connection, soul connection with people that they're closer to. And that is something I'm noticing a lot on this channel and in the social media, and I just want to say to you how much I appreciate that. I love watching it. Inside of my webinars, there's quite a few of the same people that show up, which I'm grateful to all of you. Thank you for being here. The other thing that I really love, though, is that they are starting to communicate with one another and being supportive with one another, and it's a very empowered group of people that show up of a higher vibration. What I have found in other areas is a lot of complaining and a lot of bickering, and there isn't any of that in these groups, and I am so grateful for that. And we all call each other out when that starts. So if it starts, which luckily I think it happened one time and we nipped it in the bud and said, this is not a place for that. There are other Facebook groups if you want to go and, complain and be disempowered, but this is a place for positivity. So anyway, sorry about that tangent, but to those of you that help keep it positive, thank you very much. And yes, so for others that are getting really good at asking for what they want, it's also, I don't know if you know this, but this is a form of boundaries and self-love. So please remember that the takers never set the boundaries. The givers, it's their job to do so. So, and it's the job of the takers to learn to adhere to boundaries. Sometimes they get a little upset, especially if it's taken you a long time to say no, or to say, I'm not comfortable with this, or I've been over giving here, and that sort of thing. So it's definitely a time where balancing out what it is that you are giving and you are taking. And a way to be able to tell is if you're really tired from doing something, that means that you're over giving there. But if it brings you complete joy to do it, that's how you know that it's something that you should continue giving. But it's time for something to shift if you're tired, and it's time to start receiving something in return. Another big theme that has come up over the past 10 to 12 days is peace. Peace is of the fourth ray of light of Gabrielle and Hope. It is the white ray. It's a very, very calming ray. That came in a lot during this past spiritual healing webinar, but it was a huge theme, even bigger in March. And a lot of people, we were just sitting there in awe of how calm everything was, and all the chaos was basically a lot calmer. So there's a couple of affirmations that you can use for right now. You could say, I choose peace. I choose peace. And you can say this inwardly. You could say it 10 times, say it for 28 days in a row. Your life is going to start changing to create space for peace. When I said that, some things shifted very, very quickly, and so quickly it made me a little bit nervous, but it was something that I was in alignment with. So sometimes things leave, and sometimes they leave quickly, but it's okay because struggle left and peace entered the room. So something else that you can say is, I welcome peace into my life. These are sorts of ideas for affirmations for you. Another thing that they're bringing up is talking about letting go of punishment and the inner critical voice and the critical voice of others. So that critical voice comes from fear and underlying fear. This is an ancestral pattern that typically comes through the feminine. Men have it as well, but they're not the ones who pass it through the ancestral line. It'll be the feminine who does that. Many are letting go of that punishment kind of complex and the inner critical voice, because that's totally being shifted, and which is a really good thing, because when you start speaking differently inwardly towards yourself, you'll also start speaking differently to the people around you, and people around you are going to start shifting, because they're, you'll have some people there that are more supportive back towards you and less critical of you as well, because you're able to embody more love in the world. When you embody it for yourself and you provide it for yourself, then you're able to receive it more from others, and that's how it works. Some of you as well have been wondering, I'm picking up on energy from somebody else, and they're stating try to get to a place where you don't label who it's coming from and just clear it. Clear the energy no matter whose it is if you can. Sometimes it's easier to say, oh, that's this, that, or the other, and then not clear it, but I'll just leave it at this. They're stating, try to get to a place where you're able to clear your own energy, move whatever it is out of your fields, provide love for it. Ask the angels as well. This is something Gabriel came up with and said, Gabriel's of the fourth ray. He said, it would be really helpful if you would call on us and say, hey, place this outside of your fields, and any energy that might be coming your direction for somebody else, we could go ahead and direct towards them the rays of light that would be most beneficial for them. So that is something I have in my fields at all times. If somebody sends me like an email or a comment or anything like that, I ask them, please go ahead and send them with whatever angelic rays of light would be most supportive to them at that time. And it typically is very, very helpful. Some of the males right now are retreating a little bit. I'll try to allow them to do that. Sometimes when they do that, it's because there's something that they're facing that is just so overwhelming. They feel like they can't face it with you. They're kind of worried that you would reject them. They're kind of worried that they're basically believing the fears over anything else, but they need some space to be able to have that right now. Some of the stuff that they're looking at is just kind of too much. And I got to tell you, sometimes they're rejecting themselves too. And just try to be supportive or ask them, how can I support you? And if they say don't, then don't. Spirit wants me to mention that everything is working out exactly as is intended. And if you don't like the outcome, you can always try shifting your perspective or get clarity on why things shifted. Specifically, like if you asked for peace and then these things are shifting and you're like, what happened? The universe will usually tell you, well, you had these thoughts here, and that's what manifested this over here to make space for more peace. So just to give you an example, if I have any other advice, I ask you to just focus on love, focus on the solution, and you'll be able to get through anything together. And this is between you and Spirit, you and the angels, you and your life partner, you and your children, whatever relationship it is. Try and focus on the solution more than what the problem is. Try detaching if somebody is going through something and it's too much. Try detaching with love. Provide support. Also ask for what your needs are in terms of boundaries. Make sure you're not just disappearing as well. And to focus on love. There's somebody very close to me that said to me when we first reunited, he said, we can get through anything together as long as we focus on love and as long as we communicate. And that to me, I said, goodness gracious, that's what I have been teaching my twins for the longest time. And this man walks into my life and automatically understands that. So it means a lot. So that's basically the most of the energy. There's some stuff that's going to start shifting mid-April. And I'm hoping that the next energy update is going to be in about 2 weeks so that they won't be quite so spread out. And if there's some things that you're interested in seeing, let me know below and I'd be happy to provide that for you. Let me know how I can be an assistance to you, what it is you need assistance on in terms of something not just for your specific situation, but something that might look good for the whole collective. This Sunday, the 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there is an online event for, I'm calling it a Space for Miracles, and this is taking you to go see the Creator in meditation, and it's some quiet time with the Creator, and you get to spend some time on intending what it is that you would like. Also, the angelic scanning technique. This is something some of you have been taught in our one-to-ones, and it's a very, very helpful healing modality. It helps with cleansing your energy, with cleansing your home, with healing your pets, with physical healing. This is coming up the 26th at 1 p.m. This is one of the best healing techniques that the angels have ever taught me out of all of them. This is one of my favorite. It works with all the angelic rays of light. I want to teach it to you so you can start using it daily, because I will be honest with you, there are some of you on my social media that I can sense your energy and you would really benefit from doing this, and some of you don't even know. So just want to let you know I'm excited to offer that to you on the 26th of March. It'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and yeah, so you get to hear a little bit about my story, how it healed. I was supposed to be in a body cast for about 6 to 9 months, and I ended up healing in 3 weeks for, you know, some bone fractures that I had. So it's pretty amazing. It also helps me get to sleep at night. It balances my energies out. It stops the cycling thoughts. So yeah. Anyway, I want to say thank you to you. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I hope this resonates for you. I wish you a really, really wonderful day. Bye.